Yeah, I can't speak for no other side, but nah, the North is like this, born and raised, like it's more of a family than, you feel me, like, and the other side, like the east side, it threw together. You got niggas from everywhere on the east. It wasn't no east, you feel me? It was just the north and the south back then, but now like the east, mainly the east is full of Louisiana niggas. Like when the hurricane came, that's where the east went, you feel me, like.
Yeah.
But nah, we on the south. I ain't gonna say we on the south, cause it's for niggas that be in the hood, that be from, you feel me, Mississippi or here or there, you feel me, but nah. Like,
hey, so what schools is on the north side?
Lamar. If you ain't got a Lamar, you is not no north side.
Not north side?
Nah, Arlington High, east side.
East side.
So if you ain't got a Lamar, nah, you is not no north side, nigga. If you don't be at the ghetto park on Sunday, you not a north side, nigga.
YouTube. Welcome back to another episode of Streets of the DFW. And today I'm gonna be taking y'all through a historical neighborhood on the north side of Arlington, Texas, known as the Hill. So what I'm gonna need y'all to do for me right now is hit that like button, subscribe, and oh yeah, enjoy the ride. Now, the Hill is a historic neighborhood consisting of roughly 6 blocks northwest of Arlington's original town center. It's bounded by Division Street to the south, Sanford Street to the north, Taylor Street to the west, and N.L. Robinson Drive, formerly known as West Street, to the east. The neighborhood has its origins with the formerly enslaved and their descendants, who had lived on farms and plantations in the area around Johnson Station in the vicinity of the present-day intersection of Arkansas Lane and Matlock Road. One plantation, that of Milton Tate Johnson, was the largest in Tarrant County at the conclusion of the Civil War. In 1876, the Texas and Pacific Railroad brought rapid growth to the recently established town of Arlington, just north of Johnson Station. Now, the Hill is going to develop in the late 19th century as Negroes from Johnson Station and nearby freedmen settlements such as Mosher Valley to the north moved into the area north of the railroad tracks. For much of its history, the Hill was segregated from the rest of Arlington, both socially and physically. In the 1880 census records, only 3 black families lived within the Arlington town site. Although there aren't official records available for 1890, some of the same family names also appear in the 1900 census, which indicates their continual presence in the area. As Arlington's population began to grow, so did this community. During the periods between 1890 and 1950, the Hill experienced its most significant growth and prosperity. Located on Indiana Street, the Church of God in Christ was established as early as 1895. This church provided additional class space for the original school prior to its relocation. The community's main road, Ish Street, later Indiana Street, was named after one of the area's original families. By 1890, a wooden building that served as a school for black children existed on Ish Street. This facility offered an 80-day school year before the school and the Hill neighborhood became part of the newly formed Arlington Independent School District in 1902. Mount Olive Baptist Church also served as a staple in the neighborhood after being first organized in 1897 on Ish Street. In 1907, an Arlington resident by the name of Edward F. Wilkerson subdivided land that became a major part of the Hill, and that area became known as the Wilkerson Addition. The neighborhood was also known as Tract 222, the Negro residential area, but the residents called it the Hill. Today you might hear it referred to as the ghetto part. The Hill was a semi-rural community where residents grew crops and raised animals until the 1930s. There was also grove trees and a pond used for baptism just north of the addition. Most of the houses in the Hill were shotgun houses, small structures with rooms built one behind another. A 1980 survey of historical architecture in Arlington recommended these structures for preservation, but the last of the existing shotgun houses was raised in the 1990s. By the 1920s, modest-sized L-plan and side gable homes were scattered throughout the neighborhood. A vibrant community emerged in the years years to follow. Homes, schools, and churches led to grocery stores, clubs, and restaurants in the 1920s. By this time, the neighborhood contained 28 homes with 100 residents. And by the 1930s, it shed its rural character, becoming more densely populated and urban as Arlington expanded.
It was a safe place. It was just like, 3 blocks square, 4 blocks square. And I was safe.
People actually looked out for each other. People actually cared for each other.
It was just a community of love.
I mean, you couldn't drive down Division and not see a club, because it was clubs open. That's why it was considered a party town.
On Indiana Street, from Lancaster all the way down to Sanford, it would be people going to the joints.
Where, you had Johnny Taylor was there, B.B. King.
Of course, there was 2 or 3 gambling tracks. And gambling wasn't held in much disdain as it is, with people now. It was nothing. It was just that's what you did.
Fort Worth was the Bible Belt, and it was the Norris First Baptist Church. He kind of controlled Fort Worth and held these people down. They could go to Arlington and have fun, and that's what they did.
Now, the school that they attended back then would be Booker T. Washington. And as y'all can see right here, it's a historical marker in front of it. Now, this school only went up to 8th grade, and after desegregation, graduating students were able to attend Arlington High School. And prior to that, they attended I.M. Terrell in Fort Worth. But today, the kids go to Spear Elementary, Shackelford Junior High, and Lamar High School. Now, there's a few notable members of this community. One would be George Stevens, who served as a principal of Booker T. Washington for more than 20 years. And as a tribute for his impact, George Stevens Park opened in 1957. A Texas historical marker stands here today for the hill, along with information about George Stevens, as y'all can see right here. Another notable member of the community would be Miss Gloria Eccles, who taught school in the Hill community for almost 20 years. She was one of the few women professionals who lived and worked in the Hill. Her contributions in teaching had a profound effect on the community. She lived on Watson Street, but the street was later renamed Eccles Street in her honor. You also had the Dr. Reverend Norman Lee Robinson, who pastored Mount Olive Baptist Church for more than 50 years. And in 1992, West Street would be renamed N.L. Robinson in his honor. And last but not least, we have the matriarch of the neighborhood, Miss Luann Henry Taylor.
Lou Henry Taylor and her sister, Lou Tom, were so influential.
Lou Henry was a smart businesswoman. She ran a grocery store and a beer joint and a club. Any of the churches that were in the neighborhood knew they could go in and get bread or ice or whatever they needed from Lou Henry, and she didn't charge them.
She supported school programs. She supported churches. She would help get people out of trouble. She'd loan you money.
She had a lot of contacts, and I think the chief of police always took care of her.
When people got sick, she would be the first one there. And it didn't matter if they were black, brown, or white. She fed them, she bought them clothes.
Even though there was trouble here now, you can't have a club without trouble. They made that place what it is today.
Lou Henry was way ahead of her time.
So how did the neighborhood go from that to this? Post-World War II changes to the Hills saw many residents leave the community for better job opportunities and better housing options. And when General Motors opened its local factory in 1953, several of Arlington's black residents were hired to work at the plant. Today, the community remembers the Hill and Texas historical markers, street names, churches, and the park. The Hill has a prominent place in Arlington's history. Fast forward to the 1990s and 2000s, the neighborhood has saw its share of extracurricular activities, such as gangs, drugs, and criminal activity. But this is not a super turned up neighborhood, although it can get tricky from time to time, so make sure you're on your best behavior when you come through. The main enforcers over here, well, hell, Arlington period, will be a clique called APD, better known as the Arlington Police Department. And it's nothing for them to have you across the street at 620 West Division in one of them cold ass cells, waiting on your bond to post, or waiting to catch trains to Tarrant County. But as far as the rappers from over here, I don't know of any that's directly from this neighborhood besides butting them at the beginning of this video. The most notable from the north though would be BL Double.
Hey, my nigga stuck on M Block and he trapping all night. On that north side, nigga fiends coming all night. night. A nigga stuck in a trap and he's somewhere on the East Coast in a duplex right there on Cherry Street. Tennessee off the south, 44 off a beat. Take it back to the north on Washington Street. My hitter in the.
Even though bro originally from Baton Rouge, the man repped that North like he was born at Arlington Memorial and went to every school around this motherfucker. But this is gonna conclude our ride through the hill. If there's anything that I failed to mention, drop it below in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know where y'all wanna go next. Alright? Let's go.
But like right now, shit, niggas done move from the North. Like everybody everywhere. That's why when you ask me, can a nigga come over here and start claiming the North? Nah, but it's a lot of, like everybody just everywhere. Like I said, I'm on the East. So, but the main street is shit, the Ghetto Park on Sunday, Cedar Street, McQuarrie, Sanford, Washington.
Yeah. Hey, shit, so look, what's the difference between Washington now and Washington like 5, 6, 7 years ago?
Man, Washington right now, you got a whole lot of niggas that wouldn't be there 5, 6 years ago. Like that bitch, that bitch used to be lit. Like if you weren't from the North, them 7 trade niggas were gonna get at you. Like, so now I ain't gonna say it done got friendly over there, cause like I said, you got a whole bunch of little cliques now. And the little niggas be over there causing hell and shit. But nah, it ain't nothing like how it was back then. Nah, hell nah.
For sure.
And a lot of niggas locked up too. Like a lot of them little 7 trade niggas and UTG niggas, like they locked up. So that play a big part of it too. But man, on the North, niggas really getting money. Niggas ain't on that beach shit. You got the little niggas, they head first out here. Like my little NTD niggas and shit, like they head first. But the older niggas on money. Niggas, the North is where the money is. You want some money, come to the North.
Alright, shit.
Man, y'all just tuned in to TPTV Live.
Hit the like button. I know you like watching. Hit the like button.